For many retirees, taxes often get more complicated and can actually go up after they stop working. You might find that hard to believe. But, Eric, why are so many retirees blindsided by a tax bill that they never saw coming and never planned for?
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because you'd think people would know a little bit more, but unfortunately, we don't really get much education on taking the money back out. Right? We
Right.
get told, when you get that first job, right, put money away, sign up for the 401k, all that stuff. Does anybody ever ask what happens at the other end? Right? It's like
Right?
you're putting this
No.
money away for 20, 30, 40 years. Hopefully, it gets to be a pretty good big pile of money there, right? And so you can retire and enjoy life, and then all of a sudden you find out, wow, okay, this tax stuff's way more complicated. And there used to be that you'd hear people say, oh, you're going to retire in a lower bracket, you're going to retire in a lower bracket. Well,
Yes.
first of all, most people aren't. There's that's one thing. But then you've got things like, if your mortgage is mostly paid off, paid down, that you've got less of an interest deduction. Of course, they changed the tax laws and took away a lot of state and local tax deductions. They brought a little bit of it back now, but still not 100%. And then, hopefully your kids are out of the house. Hopefully, you know, hopefully they're
Hopefully.
not still dependents.
Yeah.
Ideally,
Right.
but yeah, for most people, every single thing you put in that 401k, that IRA, that 403b, 457, all that's 100% taxable. No different than work income. It's the same
Hmm.
tax laws, same tax rates. Now, Social Security is a little funky because Social Security, they let you not pay tax on 15% of it, but basically most of it's taxable. However, most states don't tax it. So California doesn't tax it. Most states don't tax Social Security. There's a few that
Okay.
do. So,
Okay.
and so again, this is where, if you're working with an investment manager, somebody who's just taking your money and, trying to grow it, it may be a time for a change because you need somebody who knows taxes on the way out. When you take the money back out, when you take that distribution, because, yeah, if you're not getting great tax advice, I don't care about somebody preparing your return. I'm talking about advice, things that you're changing to make sure you pay less tax over your lifetime. That's one of the biggest keys because if you don't know that, you don't know half the game.
Right. Yeah. You mentioned Social Security and how it's taxed. Some people think that that Social Security check's going to be tax free, but not true.
Yep, definitely not true, and don't believe what the Republican bill did in mid 2025, where they said, "Oh, we're getting rid of taxation on Social Security." Well, there was not one law change regarding taxation of Social Security at all,
Right.
so it's not fake;
Yeah.
it's just a lie, not even fake news. But so what they did do is they did add another deduction for people between now and 2028. So if you're making less than 75 single and less than 150 married, you might get, you would get that. If you start making
We
over that, you
did.
might
We
lose
got
it.
that.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and a
Mhm.
lot of people though lose parts of it because if you take more money out of your IRAs and 401ks, or if you're working, you may end up having less money there. So you may or may not get that.
Right.
And then the other thing is those tax rates for Social Security were set in the 90s. They've never been changed. Well, actually, sorry, one was set in the 80s. They taxed half of it, and then they went up to 85 in the 90s. But that bracket is still 32,000, for married, and
Mhm.
just 25 for single, and that includes half your Social Security money. So there's a lot of clients I have now that their Social Security will cause their Social Security to get taxed.
Oh
So,
my god. I can't
so
believe it hasn't changed, Eric.
yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
been way
There's
too long.
yeah. So that's one of those sneaky little things that that they really get you on. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's something where you have to watch out for that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so and then there's something called a tax torpedo, right? An extra, what is that?
Well, it's just when you hit that level. So sometimes if somebody say they're like right on the borderline of having that Social Security tax, but they need some more money to take out, so they take some money out of their IRA. Well, that dollar out of the IRA might cause 85 cents of their Social Security now to be taxed. So that tax on that dollar is a dollar 85.
Yeah.
And so, well, not the tax, but the brackets and such,
Yeah.
and or the taxable income, I should say. So, that taxable income is almost being doubled sometimes when you're taking that out. So, again, some people may be able to avoid it, but a lot of people, it's just going to be happening. So,
Yeah.
just live with it. Right.
Yeah, live with it, but it's alarming, how do people end up in this situation without anyone warning them? I mean, it's just there's so many things we don't know.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this show. That's why
Yeah.
we're here. That's why I wrote a book, Worryless Wealth. That's what we do with our clients. I mean, to
Yeah.
me, if you're a distribution type planning, financial advisor, where you're actually helping people take that money back out in retirement, really truly taking it out, not just here's a program, here's what things look like. No, no, let's look at for you and your situation, what your lifetime tax bill will be. And can we make changes today to lower that lifetime tax bill? And lots of times, yeah, there's lots of options and lots of things we can do. But, I mean, I literally had somebody who was 78 and his wife just turned 73. And now she's doing her required minimum distributions. He was already doing his for the last 8 years. Now they want to do tax planning. It's like, okay, we can try to help, but this would have been a lot more effective 10, 15, 20 years ago. So,
Right? Yes.
so a lot of people wait too long. So,
Mhm.
again, one of the things we've created is a digital toolbox. And what this is a way to get some quick downloads. One of the best ones there is, for what we're talking about is, are you paying too much tax in retirement? Social Security timing decisions up there. Will your money last as long as you do? Now these are like 10 or 15 page things to read. So
Right.
they're super fast, super easy.
Yeah. Like booklets. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
more like a booklet. And then,
Mhm.
got a digital copy of my book if you want to read that. And then wait a set of time and talk with us. So all you have to do is text the word toolbox to 800-454-1184. Again, text the word toolbox, 800-454-1184, or click the link below.
We're so glad you joined us today. This is Wealth Creator Radio with Eric Heckman of Heckman Financial. And Eric, since everyone's income sources are different, different social security as far as timing goes, their pensions, IRA size, tell us how you help customize the approach for each person.
Yeah. So really what you want to do is you want to have a customized income plan. And what that income plan contains is several items. I mean, the first and foremost is, will you have money, right? I mean, that's the biggest freak out for everybody is, will my money last?
Yeah.
And so with inflation, with taxes, with the various types of buckets that you have, depending on what order withdrawal and all that stuff, will that money last till you're age 100? Or is it only going to last till you're 90 or 70? Well, if it's 70, yeah, we need,
We got work to do.
we got to change the plans a little bit. And so, and the nice thing, once you have that, then people will say, oh, I should wait to take my Social Security. And then say, okay, well, let's put it through the income plan. And 2/3 of the time we find out, actually, you'll have a lower net worth if you wait to take your Social Security. So was that the right answer? Doesn't sound like it.
Mm-mm.
Should I do a Roth conversion? How much should I do? Well, again, once you have that in that income plan, we can see for your specific situation what works, what doesn't work. And, that's really the biggest key is having something that's yours, that's not something that, is off the shelf or some website and, that they're using for everybody and they don't know all your ins and outs of your specific situation. So, again, that's why we also will meet with people, go over this, we'll do that plan for them. So, without a cost, we're going to give you that information, tell you where you're headed. And, then it's up to you, where you want to go from there. But, first and foremost, I'd get access to that toolbox. All you have to do is text word toolbox to 800-454-1184. Again, text word toolbox, 800-454-1184. Or you can click the link below online here.